I think the very first thing that we approached was we wanted to make it a Guitar Hero game. We wanted to preserve that core experience. People seemed very nervous about it. I mean, we were totally nervous about it. Like, you don't want to go in there and reinvent the wheel and change what everybody loved about the game. First, we wanted to make it feel like Guitar Hero, preserve that. And then we tried to just sort of take it to the next level, update the graphics and the characters, update the venues, the light shows, and then try and add some stuff to it, some new features that probably take it out further. Hopefully we've done that. Well, one of the new features is, of course, the guitar battle, or the battle mode. We're talking guitar battle. It was sort of inspired by the whole Crossroads movie where you have the Karate Kid against Steve Vai, where they're sort of cutting heads, you know. It's a real guitar player kind of thing. Like, guitar players always walk around thinking, like, I'm a better guitar player than that guy, and now you can really sort of prove it. You could do that in the previous game by doing, like, pro face-off, but we wanted to make it a little more interactive, where you're really kind of attacking your opponent. So we came up with this idea, the guitar battle, where basically it's like a pro face-off mode, the same note tracks. You could play on different difficulties though. But instead of star power, you have battle power gems that come down. You finish a battle power gem sequence and you get a power-up. And then you can launch that power-up at your opponent and make it harder for him to play. Some of the power-ups we have, there's like a whammy attack, which you throw it at your opponent and he has to hammer his whammy and bring it down so he can play. There's a broken string, which makes it so that the player can't play until he hammers one of his strings down. There's also a difficulty up, so if he's playing hard, he'll move up to hard, he'll move up to expert. If you're on expert, you won't get that power up, obviously. Lefty flip, which also works if you're playing righty. It makes it so you have to play the other way. There's also an amp overload, which shakes his screen, makes it hard for him to play. We had a lot of ideas for lots of different power-ups that we tried. Those were really the ones that sort of stuck at the moment. There's a lot more stuff we could probably do, but I think some of them just sort of made sense, like keeping the note tracks the same, so you wouldn't have to do, like, really just like make a random note track or something. We kept them the same, so you still have to learn how to play the song. It just makes it your job doing that harder. Like the broken string, a very guitar player kind of thing. You break string, but how would make it feel like you're fixing your string? So we have you hammer the button down. In the previous games, they had a co-op mode, and it was pretty fun. But there were some songs where the bass line or the rhythm line just wasn't nearly as fun as the lead line. So we thought that was a great feature. We just wanted to feature it more. So we have a whole career progression, a co-op career that you can play with a friend. And the songs unlock in different orders, and you have specific encore songs that once you play them in co-op, then they're available in single player. One of the reasons we wanted to do that was that way we're allowed to take some of the songs that didn't play so well single player and don't put them in the co-op career. You can still play them co-op. They're just not part of the career. So really, if you're playing through co-op career, it's really going to be the best experience that you probably could have with those songs with two players. And really pick some songs that we think are going to play great co-op. Like, that's why Sabotage is a co-op career song, because it's a recognizable song that everybody likes. Really cool. But the guitar part isn't the greatest guitar part in the world, but it's got a cool bass line to it. You put them together, and it's a really fun song to play co-op. But once you play that song in co-op career, then you can play it in the other modes as well, single player. All the different versions of the game are pretty much the same. They all have the same, they have boss battles, they have battle mode, they have all that stuff. And one of the ways that they do differ is they're going to have different guitars. Like the next gen system has the new Les Paul guitar, which is also wireless. And the PS2 version is going to have the Kramer guitar, also wireless. In addition to that, the new guitars have like removable faceplates, where you can pop the faceplate off and you can do whatever you want to it. You could, glue stuff on it, you could bleed on it, you could make your own customizable faceplate and put it back on and say, that's my guitar. I think one of the reasons this is the best soundtrack that the game's ever had is probably because, well, there's a few reasons. First of all, we went back and we looked at all these people's wish lists, and we really wanted to try and give the people what they thought would be the best song in the game. Then, sort of evaluate it and make sure that's true, but really try and get those core songs that people wanted. For example, like Living Color, Cult of Personality, I think was on almost every single top 10 list I've ever seen. So we really wanted to get that song. In addition to that, we went after the master recordings for everything that we could. Some of the songs, like the master tracks aren't available, or the song doesn't really play particularly well. There's like, big breaks where there's no guitar, which is not going to play very well. In those cases, if it's a song, it's still a good song, you want to try and re-record it. But we try to get as many master tracks so you get the real experience of playing that song. Living Color was an interesting example of that. We really wanted that song, and they said they're going to give us a master. And I'm like, great. It turns out they went back into the studio and re-recorded it for us. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Let's hear how it sounds. We heard it, and it sounds great. It's like a little bit updated, but it definitely is Living Color playing it. Except when you get to the solo and the guy goes nuts. It's like, oh my goodness, we have to drop that in the progression a little further. It's pretty hard. It's cool though. It's a tough song, tough solo. Yeah, you should definitely check out Guitar Hero 3. It's going to be a great Guitar Hero experience that you're used to playing, but we're taking it to the next level with online play. You're going to be able to play real life rock star bosses. It's just going to be a lot of fun. You should buy it.